All right, y'all. You make sure you can hear me. Just checking. I'm on StreamYard today. All right, y'all. So we get started here in a minute or two. Going live again. We're gonna be talking about these fights. Okay. Okay, there go Marcus Bell. What's going on? All right. Mary Jane, I think. Okay, Mary Jane, somebody new says she can hear me. Welcome. Okay, so sounds good. Cool, cool. We'll get started here in a minute, but we back again to talk about these fights last night. And of course, I don't want to forget the Friday fight. I don't know if y'all missed that Combate fight. Chantel Coates and what's her name? Lucera Acosta. I actually got to go back and watch that fight again because that one was a split decision. And not the fact that it was a split decision because I agree with it, but I just got to go back and watch it because I kind of missed some of the second round. Like, I just, I usually watch these fights like two or three times, man. So, um, yeah, I just want to go back and watch it, but I'll talk about what I saw here. You know, 'cause, yeah, we'll talk Monday for sure. We'll be on here longer Monday because I'm pressed for time right now. Oh, okay, okay. MJ is Mary Jane is MJ. Oh, okay, okay. You just edited your profile name. Okay, got you. Yeah, Marcus. Derek Lewis fell victim to his one-dimensional style, man, for sure, man. He did. He did, man. Who did I say? I was going with Lewis. Then I said after I watched like five of Gane's fights, I said I got to go with Gane, man. Gane was just too athletic and athletic and has too much of a arsenal. Too much of a better arsenal than Derek Lewis. Like Derek Lewis, man, his legs just kill me, man. Like not in a funny way. I'm just saying they kill me. Like when I'm looking at his like physicality, like up top, he's a heavy guy, but then when you look at his legs, it's like, man, he's on like stilts, and it almost look painful because he can't take leg kicks, can't really take body shots either. And the way he folded, man, it was like, wow, like that's all you have to do, man. Be able to take away his punching power, and you're good to go. You know? Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think everybody's gonna be able to figure that style out now. Like, if you're a wrestler that just kind of rushes in like Curtis Blades, that's not effective. It's not gonna be effective. But if you have like an all around athletic game and you have nice body kicks and leg kicks, take them apart. Okay, Mary Jane said Team France. I'm assuming you're French. I mean, I'm not assuming. You're probably all right. Nothing wrong with that. I'm riding with Manon Firo too. I like Manon Firo, so she's a solid fighter that I'm going for. But yeah, man, let's get started. Welcome back, y'all, to another live stream. Like I said, good night of fights, pretty decent, and I want to talk about this Friday fight between Chantel Coates and Acosta. Talk a little bit about that, and I want to discuss Angela Hill and Tisha Torres and the obvious changes in Torres' game and the lack of changes in Angela Hill's game, and why it's going to cost her from ever trying. Why it's obviously going to keep her where she is. We got to talk about that with Angela Hill, and then we got to talk about Karolina and Jessica Penne. I know people saying these two are done, but they're part of the fight game. They're part of the strawweight division, so we got to talk about them. As long as they're fighting, we got to talk about them. I guess we don't have to, you know. It's my channel, but so we'll talk about it. I just want to discuss Karolina and her game now, man. Karolina and her direction. Like I just talked about it in this post-fight video, but yeah, I want to discuss it with y'all now. And also Gatto versus Victoria Leonardo. This is the second fight where Victoria Leonardo broken her arm, man. You know what's going on? Let's see, two beats. What's going on? He says, okay, gone. Cyril gone. Cyril gone. He's a fan of him now, for sure. I am. He's been a fan, but I'm turning into a fan. Yeah, definitely. I like his style though. You know, I like what I seen after I went back and watched some of his fights. Mark Spell said he's going for Manon. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but yeah, I am. Oh yeah, let me go back up here. Okay. Mary Jane says I'm Dutch from the Netherlands. It's all European. We're from Europe. Okay, cool, cool. Shout out to the Netherlands then. It's always good to have some other people in here from other, just other countries. Um, all the way from the Netherlands, listen to somebody from the South talk. The South in America, the southern part of America. That's always a good thing. Kind of reminds me of that dude that can do Old Spice deodorant commercials. Oh yeah. 2B said Gatto looked pretty good standing considering she was fighting Leonardo. Yeah. All right. GDR and Kill Host. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Kill Host is repping there too. All right. So yeah, real quick, like I said, I just want to say shout out to Chantel Coates. You know, she made her return um after a long layoff, no injuries or anything like that. Just doing the family thing early on in her career, which is smart, go ahead and have she had her baby now, getting everything solid with the family. I like that. Go ahead and do that business now while you're still young, and you can go right back into the game. She's been looking sharp in training. Chantel Coach, she's been linking up with some solid people. Shout out to Chantel. She came in here looking like the smaller fighter, even at the weigh-in. Somebody had brought that up to me, and I was like, she's a smaller fighter, but in my opinion, I was like, I can't go against. I think she's going to win this fight. So Chantel Coates, she went in there, put on a good performance against Acosta. Acosta, she's a bigger fighter, and she was really trying to put that pressure on and come with those big shots. But Chantel Coates, good striker off the back foot, landed some good right hands in this fight, and she showed a good level of takedown defensive against Acosta. Acosta kept trying to get her to the ground, but Chantel Coates, she was able to hold her own and showcase her physical strength. And I think she was just a sharper puncher in this fight. There were some good shots landed from Acosta, but I like the effects of the right hands that Coates was landing. She does have power. She's got one of the fastest knockouts in Invicta history. Like what, 20 seconds, 23 seconds, something like that. Of course, they won't always come like that, but she does have power. She's got power and strength. And I think Chantel Coates, the longer, the more and more she spends time working on her striking, she spends long drills on developing her precision. I think she'll be a problem for sure at the flyweight division at the flyweight limit. Excuse me. Uh, Split decision win for Chantel Coates. She got 29-28, 29-28, which I agree with. But one judge had it for Acosta 30-27. 30-27. I was like, what? I was like, come on now. I was like, 30-27. It shows you that one judge was just trying to give Acosta the fight, because I don't see how she bagged 3 rounds. I really don't see how she bagged 3 rounds against Coates. Coates to me was doing enough work in this fight. Let's see, got a few more people in here. Daniel Edwards, what's up? He said, if someone bet Penne sub, great job. I started to. I started to. I was picking Penne to win, and I was like, I think she's gonna get submission win. I should have bet on it. I really should have bet on this fight. Ernest Richards said he heard Hill got boxed up. Yeah, man. But not just boxed up, she got kicked up. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. Yeah, Chantel Coates. It was a good performance from Combate. You know, her comeback after a bit of a layoff. Like I said, of course, no rusted off, in my opinion. You know, she's been training and staying sharp, and she's still young. So as soon as she really gets into it, starts staying active, I think she could be a problem for the flyweight division, whether she go to Bellator or the UFC. So I say give Chantel Coates a few more fights, maybe 2 or 3 more fights, and through Combate or let's see, LFA and Victor or something like that, you might see her hit that UFC scene. But there's no need to rush it with her. There's no need to rush it. She's 2-1 now, so there's room for growth there. I know Acosta was trying to ask for a rematch, but I'm not trying to see that rematch. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up too. So, see, I got 13 people, so make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. So, um, yeah, good fight though, good fight. I want to go back and watch the majority, but not the majority of the second round that I missed. So, Stamina, what's going on? He said, "What's up, Breaker Gang? What's going on?" Uh, Daniel Edwards said he cashed the cheap parlays. So got 150 for myself. Dang, good job, good job. Yep, yep. All right, so what else? What else do we got here? Victoria Leonardo and Gatto. Gatto finally made her debut, man. Gatto finally made her debut after 3 years. 3 years, man. Like she's been signed to the UFC. Like so many cancellations, issues with USADA, kind of kept her back. But she came in here and she showcased a good statement. I know a lot of people count out Victoria Leonardo, but for the level she's on, she'll give you a test. She's unranked, of course. Um, she is big, she is strong, and if you get caught sleeping, she will come in there and put up a good fight and maybe take you out. But I say Gatto, she's been ready for this. She's had that fire for a while now. I mean, there was two ways it could go. She could either be rusty after 3 years, or she could go in there and just be ready to let that flame go. You know what I mean? She was just ready to go, and that's what Gatto showed up. Gatto, she had the longer frame in here, and overall utilized her striking much better than Victoria Leonardo. Usually, Victoria Leonardo is a taller fighter, I think, in some of these fights, but Gatto, she really showcased some good striking. Like I seen some of her past fights, went back and looked at some YouTube fights, and she's got a good ground game, but in this fight, she was utilizing a little bit of everything. I mean, cracking Victoria Leonardo with good right hands and just really exhausting her in that first round. And you could see like the fatigue in Victoria Leonardo after the first round. Just some good overall control, on the ground with her strength and her straight punches, on Victoria Leonardo. And then more came in the second round. I think Victoria Leonardo, um, I think her defense is still a big issue, and that's what I've said about her before. I think her defense is still very, very shaky. I give it probably like a C minus, something like that. The way she gets hit with these big shots, and I saw it in the first round. Like her issue is, the way she kind of freezes up when she throws up her guard. You can still punch around the side of her head, and that's a big target right there. Throw your guard up right in front of your face, you can still punch around the jaw and the ear, and that's how Gatto was hitting her with these, she was placing these perfect shots on her chin. And that's how Aaron Blanchfield was able to KO her with a head kick, pulling straight back, leaving her chin wide open. So I think, Victoria Leonardo, if she wants to advance, defense is a big part of her game. But Gatto though, man, Gatto's got some she's got some decent control with her jab and distance, and showed some nice strength too. I mean, she came in there kind of ripped up. I know she did have some issues with USADA, like they said, but um, I think maybe she was showing a little bit of effects there. I don't know, but yeah, she came in there looking kind of, diesel, kind of like long frame, but at the same time still ripped. And she was pressing Leonardo. Leonardo's not a small fighter. She looks like a bantamweight. And hold on, to be said, Gatto striking compared to Dern, or hold on, yeah, Daniel, Gatto looks strong at 125, yeah, and to be said, Gatto striking compared to Dern and Ebas. I think Gatto's striking looks a little bit better than Dern's. Like it looks a little bit better. I mean, I don't know what she's been working on as far out of training right now, but I think that Gatto's striking looks a little bit better. Maybe it's on the level with Ebas because of what she's already shown in the UFC. Ebas and Gatto, I'd say it's about even. Maybe give the edge to Ebas a little bit more because, Gatto was showing this solid striking against this level of an opponent that's not that high rank. So it's still hard to say that it's better than Ebas, but I'd say it's almost even, but looks a little bit better than Dern, like as far as her technique and how she was able to get takedowns off of her striking. So yeah, that's what I think. Um, yeah, though it was a good performance. But let me talk about the stoppage real quick, though, man. Like I I would have said it was a premature stoppage, but then I thought about it again and just kind of looking at the situation in the past where fighters they continue to fight through damaged limbs or damaged ears or whatever. It can cost you in the long run. I've seen some fighters have problem problems hearing, after a long time in the game and continue fighting through like busted eardrums and bleeding ears inside the ear, not like the cauliflower ear, but the inside of your ear, things like that. Um, broken arms. If you continue to break an arm over and over, it's hard to set it back and it'll break over and over. Like Paige Van Zant, she continued to break that arm over and over. Now Leonardo, she's kind of in that same position. Like she broke her arm in her last fight and she broke her arm in this fight. Um, I was trying to find out what it was that caused the arm break. I couldn't find anything really. I know they said something about a Kimura and a sweep from Gatto might have snapped the arm. It might have snapped that part of the arm that had been broken before, they said, but it wasn't really like disclosed. I mean, Victoria Leonardo, she'll probably put it out there, in time coming on her Instagram, let everybody know. But yeah, at first I was like, might be premature to stop the fight because she said she wanted to go on, but doctor's going to play it safe, and I agree with the stoppage. I agree with the stoppage. You saw what happened to Kanako Murata. They let her go on, and I mean, with Kanako Murata, she was like her arm was hanging. I was like, man, like this girl is continuing to try to fight. She's helpless, but the arm is hanging low, and Vernon Genderoba's coming after her, but hers was a little bit more painful to watch because she couldn't defend herself. Leonardo looked a little bit more sharper, like she could hold her arm up, but you never know what's going to happen in there. I mean, something could happen worse to it. So I don't know. At first I was like, let the fight go, but it's probably for the better because you don't know what the deal and like I said, long term effects with her arm could be. Um, Gary Baldon, what's up? He said, who should Gatto fight next? Let me let me think on that. That's a good name. Daniel Edwards said Gatto versus Blanchfield. That would be good. That would be good. Yeah, Aaron Blanchfield's been working. But who do I think? Let me think on that for a second. Daniel said I prefer to keep prospects separate, but UFC would do that matchup. Let me think. Let me think. Eric James said Oh, hold on. 2B said, I hate this type of stuff. Fighters sign a contract, understand what they're getting into, not to mention they have cornermen who can throw in the towel for their fight. So I just don't agree. Yeah, I was thinking that at the first, but sometimes, but that's the whole purpose of having a corner because they know fighters won't know their limit. Like, they want to cut back on like long-term effects where fighters really get damaged, and they want to cut back on brain damage, and they want to cut back on things like death, of course. They want cutbacks on things like that. But um yeah, I think there's a certain limit where a fighter can continue to go. Like sometimes a flow of blood, it's not going to stop a fight, certain type of cuts, but breaking arms, yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that, but it's probably better they stop. It's probably better they stop it though. Because yeah, the fighter knows what they're signed up for, but that's the whole purpose of having a balance there. You got to have the doctor there, you got to have the corner there because they got to tell you when to stop. It's like a kid's going to play outside all day long. A kid has energy. When a kid is like 10 years old and 12 years old, he's going to stay out in 100-degree heat as long as he wants. That's how I used to do when I was a kid, right? I know how hot it is, but I'm gonna stay out there and play and play. But when my parents tell me it's time to come in because you've been out here for so many hours, I gotta listen because hey, they know I might get heat stroke or something, right? It might sound funny, but that's true. You might get, you get sunburnt, you get heat stroke, whatever. You might find me laying out there passed out because I didn't know my limit, you know. And that's something I guess kind of liken it to just off the top of my head, but that's similar to that. Like you got to have somebody watching over you because yeah, you want to go on and on, but you want to be able to fight another day. You know, this one fight ain't it. You got to be able to be in some type of shape for the next fight. Would it really be worth breaking this arm in a way where it ends your career or offsets the way you can fight? So yeah, you gotta think of those little things. So I was kind of on the fence, but yeah, I say the doctors know best sometimes. Uh, refs don't most of the times. It's kind of 50-50, but a doctor's trying to save your career. Fighters and corners have glaringly obvious reasons to not be objective in their assessment of situations. Medical professionals are less likely to be biased, saying yes or no is all the same to them. Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, they're to me, they're not gonna be biased. They're there for that balance because a fighter's gonna want to go on, right? That's tipping the scale one way, and then the doctor's gonna say, no, you can't go on. They're the ones that are pretty cut and dry, so they tip it back the other way to make it balanced. They can't say, oh, well, he's saying, yeah, you know, his brain is ready. His brain is saying, yeah. Well, his heart is saying yes, but, the arm is saying a different story. The ankle is saying a different story. Yeah, Marcus, that was who I was going to say. I was going to say, I think BJ said the same thing. I was talking to him the other night. Yeah, BJ said the same thing. Poliana Bateo, that's a good fight. Poliana Bateo, um, who else is an unranked fighter? Who else is an unranked fighter here we could throw her in there with? No, that is a good name. Yeah, Poliana Patel is a good name. Yeah, yeah, check and balance for the fighter, right? Yeah, that's what I think. So that's my opinion, though. That's how I feel about it. Like, because the fighters, their heart, brain, everything's gonna be into it. It's gonna be like it's a go, like let's go. But it's up to that corner to tell you, oh, you had enough, or the doctor to say, oh no, no, like that bone is no, that bone is way gone. Like that arm is going to be useless in a fight. But I think yeah, moving forward from here, Gatto, she showcased some good skills, good stand up. I think she has good length for this division too, and I think she's utilizing it well from what I what I've seen in this fight so far. But let's look at some of these matchups. What would be a good fight for sure? Y'all say Aaron Blanchfield is a good fighter. I don't disagree with that one. I like that name. Um, because you want to graduate each level. So she's still on the unranked level, right? At 7-0. Yeah, she's only 5'5", but she has some length. Yeah. Oh, okay. Her reach is like 69. So yeah. Yeah, I remember she was supposed to fight Agapova at one time. That would have been a good fight. Yeah, so we can see Gatto as a young undefeated prospect. Who else we could put her in there? Poliana Bateo was a good name. I think Bateo is a better, is more so of a stand-up fighter. I won't say a better stand-up fighter, but that's her game. And I think that somebody like Gatto has the neutralizer. You know, she has the ground game, she has the power and the physical strength from what I'm seeing. Aaron Blanchfield, I remember they tried to put her in there at 135, but she needs to be at 125. You know, so Aaron Blanchfield, she's got a good game. You know, she's got a good, matter of fact, don't put them in there because they could be the next set of prospects on the come up. Like I know we got Santos, Manon, and Maverick right now, but Blanchfield and Gatto, they could be the next big things too. You know, Aaron Blanchfield, she was like one of the best flyweights in Invicta FC. So you probably want to save her and Gatto maybe for somewhere down the line. There's a lot of other fighters you can let them fight. Um, let's see, Gatto versus Bateo is good. Or Jillian Robertson, since she was showcasing, you know, some nice tools in there. Go ahead and maybe test her off with somebody experienced. I would like to see Aaron Blanchfield fight Jillian Robertson. Honestly, man, I think she would be ready for something like that. Yeah. 2B said Casey O'Neill. Ooh, take Casey O'Neill. Shoot, man, we got to save her too. I'm being stingy, man. We got we got to save her too, man. Like I think Blanchfield, O'Neill, and Gatto, we need to see them mix it up with some of the older fighters. You know, maybe we can see them mix it up with the older fighters. Let's see, because I think that's some new blood right there. We got that's some new blood we got. Yeah, they like the prospects to eliminate each other, man. Yeah, like I don't want that yet, though, man. We got to get some of the old heads out. We got to get some of these old heads out of the game, you know. But we'll talk more on that tomorrow. Like I said, I just um a little pressed for time here, but let's talk about, let's see who else I got listed here. Let's talk about Karolina and Jessica Penne real quick. Um, Fight pretty much went the way I felt it was gonna go. Um, I don't think I really don't think Jessica. Oh man, it's tough watching Karolina to go through this, man. I don't really think Karolina Kowalkiewicz should be in there anymore. Let's be honest, man. People always say, "Oh, y'all don't know, y'all aren't fighting." I mean, I think it's obvious when we know somebody shouldn't be in the octagon anymore. I mean, there's levels of hate when somebody says that person don't need to be fighting that don't really know. But I mean, Karolina Kowalkiewicz is basically wearing the sign on her chest now that says she's damaged good. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be funny. She's basically wearing that sign now. You know, 5 losses in a row, and they're not close losses either. Again, let's go back to what I was talking about Tisha Torres before. Tisha Torres, 4 losses in a row, but she still looks good. She still looks tough, and she still looks promising. Karolina Kowalkiewicz, 5 losses in a row, each one more disastrous than the next. Each one more devastating than the next, right? I think when we see something like that, then it's safe to say, hey, I'm kind of looking out for the fighter at this point, whether you're a fan or not. You don't want to see anybody like damaged or turned into a vegetable in there, right? So I think it's obvious and safe to say, no, we're not trolling. We're saying that Karolina Kowalkiewicz, well, I'm saying that now that Karolina Kowalkiewicz should just leave the game. You know, I don't know how many fights she has on her contract or what, but when it comes down to this, when each loss is worse than the next, I mean, it's time to go. It's really time to go. That's why I know some people thought, hey, she could win this fight. Jessica Penne, let's be honest, like Jessica Penne is older, but she's well rounded compared to Karolina Kowalkiewicz. And Karolina, well, Jessica, unlike Karolina, she's been out for 2 years, but that doesn't mean she was like rusting away. You know, she was still working on her game plan, and she was still trying to stay in shape. And in the meantime, 2 years off, your body is healing up, it's recovering. So being 38 versus a 35-year-old, not much difference, but less damage is on Jessica Penne going in this fight. And first off, Jessica Penne, like I said, is much more well-rounded fighter. Like Carolina just recently started. Well, I won't say recently. I think over the past year or so, she has been working with ATT and she's been linking up with, Joanna and trying to work. But I don't really think that Joanna is the perfect fighter for Carolina to get that working. Again, just an honest assessment. Like Carolina needs somebody that can change her into more of a defensive fighter at this age. Joanna's not the best defensive fighter. Joanna's defense, her best defense was her offense. So you can't really teach that to a damaged fighter, somebody that's already taken punishment and likes to brawl. Joanna, she'll come in there, throw combinations, and throw you off your game. And she will still take hits. She still will take hits, but she'll stop your offense by throwing more punches. And Carolina needs somebody that's going to teach her to slip, slide out, counter punch, pick her pick her jabs, pick her shots wisely. But from what I was seeing in this fight, it looked like it was a little bit uncomfortable to her. Like first minute, Carolina was on the back foot and it didn't look comfortable to her. I mean, is that me? Like she really didn't look comfortable on the back foot in this fight. Like she was really having trouble getting her feet set to throw shots. Like Jessica Penne came in, said, okay, I'll dictate this. I'm coming forward. I'm going in attack. And she started landing good punches. She started landing some good strikes. So everything favored Penne in this fight. It just seemed a little too early. Well, I won't say early. I think it just seemed a little too late for Carolina at this point to try to change her game plan the way she was changing it. It showed, that was the evidence. That was the evidence last night. Hang on here. Let me see what y'all talking about. Hold on. Yeah, Stamina named some good names. Let's see. Oh yeah. Hold on. Yeah, Tracy Cortez. Yeah, Tracy Cortez. If she gets past Aldridge, yeah, that's a good fight. Or that's a possible prospect fight. Yeah, Gary Baldon. I don't think so either. They got her listed at 5'5". She looking like 5'7". Stamina said, yeah, Carolina. They're looking at Carolina. I think Carolina's lined up to fight Jessica Rose Clark though. Shakarova, yeah. No, I think did they cut Mazzani? I thought they did. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't cut her. I don't think they did. Uh, yeah, Shakarova might be at 115, but who knows? That's the name. Get with Candy. What's up? She said ever since her fight with Andrade, she hasn't been the same. Nah, she hasn't. She really hasn't. Stamina said with Carolina, I can't say she doesn't need to be in there anymore, but I can definitely say I have no interest in seeing it. She can still compete, etc. But non-injurious matchups will ever get tough. Mm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's your opinion. I mean, I think she don't need to be in there. I really don't. I mean, metal plate in your face, knockout, beat down, submission. You don't need to be in there. And I won't I rarely say that for a fighter myself, but when I'm starting to say that, I feel like yeah, it's that red alert time. I don't think she can compete really. I think you put Carolina in there with I you put Carolina in there with Kay Hansen, I think Kay Hansen beats her now. you put Karolina in there with what is her name? Oh man, you put Karolina in there with Montserrat Ruiz now. That'll be your answer right there, I think. If one of those fighters really beat her, then I think you'll see what I'm talking about when I say she doesn't need to be in there. Gary Baldon, you misspelled lowest. He has a spelling issue. He spelled lowest wrong. Okay, Mary Thomas, what's going on? Said unexpected beat down last night. Still enjoying the highlight. 2B said, "What's the ceiling of Penne 2.0? Same or different?" I think it's the same. Whatever it is for, she's 38 now. You know, I think her jujitsu would give a lot of fighters problems. That's why I said maybe Jessica Penne could fight somebody like. Uh, I think Jessica Penne could fight. Let's see her fight Jinyu Fry or Cheyenne Bays. And we can kind of see where Penne really is. And the Jinyu Fry and Jessica Penne fight would be interesting because I think that would tell us where Jinyu Fry is as well. I think Jessica Penne's jujitsu would give a lot of these prospects trouble though. That's my opinion. I think Jessica Penne, her jujitsu is very, very effective, and the way she was just flowing through it on Karolina was just like 101. Karolina was making all types of mistakes there. She was able to lure her into the guard, and she just took over. And yeah, I think Penne's jujitsu would still give a lot of prospects trouble. So I think it's the same, but with some of these well-rounded fighters coming up, these evolving fighters in the division, it'll be tougher to get into the top 10 though, for real. I think so, for real, for real. Yeah. Yeah, man, she ain't got no game plan. Yeah, Panay versus Labutni. That's a good name. Yeah, that's a good name. That would tell us something. That would tell us something, because Labutni, that would be an interesting fight. Like, can she get past her offense? You know? Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. Let's see. Stemmer said would Bays beat her? I think Bays would beat her at this point. And I think I could say Corey McKenna would beat her. I don't know about I don't know about Pinheiro or DePaula or the other chick Nunez. Um, Granger, I'm not even gonna mention Granger because she's out. She hadn't even had her baby yet. Yeah, I would say I don't know, man. Like 5 in a row is very, very tough, man. Like you want to make it an even six, go ahead. I mean, I don't see her beating those girls though. I think that's just it. Like that's almost like at that point where they're kind of doing you like Random Marcos. You know what I mean? Like, except the thing about Random Marcos is still pretty tough and she's still competitive. Like she's not getting destroyed. But they're kind of doing that with Random Marcos. You know how she was kind of fighting down the ladder, and it was almost like, okay, if you can't beat this person, we'll cut you. If you can't beat this person, we'll cut you. But Randa's holding her own even in these losses. Like she's not getting like destroyed. You know what I mean? But like when you look at Carolina, she is getting, oh man, oh man, she's suffering every type of loss in there. So I don't see her on competitive level. Like Panay out of the game for 2 years, and you still couldn't show any signs of a game plan against this fighter. I don't see her being competitive, man. I really don't. There's always a throwaway fight for somebody, but that's too risky in this division. I mean, let's go all the way back. I mean, knockout loss to Jessica Andrade, devastating knockout loss. I mean, out on her back. Michelle Waterson beats her, dominates her pretty much, beats her. Alexa Grasso, you know, boxes the hell out of her and puts hands on her. Then Yan Xiaonan destroys her. As far as her face, you know what I mean? She broke the eye socket. And now, Jessica Nave was landing the better strikes, takes her down, submits her with ease. So those are high level fighters, yeah. Those are high level but I think that does something to you. I think that really does do something to you after let me see, haven't scored a win in let me see, 3 years. And that was a close win over Felice Herrig. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's really hard to dig deep at that point to score a win against any of these girls in the strawweight division. Mm, yeah, yeah. I got to be that doctor on the sideline in this one that says you need to stop. You know what I mean? Like I got to be that doctor. I got to be that doctor, that check and balance to say you need to stop. Because there's a lot of guys out there. There's a lot of simps out there that are still fans, and they say, "Oh, you'll be back, and you'll be ready." But they're not looking at she's 35 with damage to her face and everything. You know what I mean? Like you got a life ahead of you. You got a fiance. I don't know if you're already married. That life is already kind of into play where you want to enjoy that now. You don't want to see a person get get any more serious injuries done to them. Uh, 2B said maybe Panay can be like Caitlin Chikagian of the non-top of the not top 15. Right, right. Mary Thomas said what made it worse for KK is she was already on a losing streak. Yeah, four losses, now five. If I'm not wrong, she booked up with Andrade right after the sub loss to Claudia. No, she went on 2 fights before that. Yeah, she fought 2 more fights before fighting Andrade. Like they gave her a couple easy fights, or a so-called Pinheiro will earn a DQ win against KK somehow. Gary Baldon said Felice Herrig is Pinay's only hope to get ranked. Man, shoot. Go ahead and put Panay in there with Lemos. Go ahead and give Lemos a veteran on her resume, boy. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and give Lemos that fight. I tell you what Lemos gonna do. All right. That's never said, to be clear, I'm not campaigning for her to stay. I ain't a fan like that. I just don't want to be one of those armchair critics. The fandom has too many of those already. No tears shed if she's cut. There's armchair critics. That's why I addressed that first. I said I don't want to look like a troll or like some armchair critic, but let's talk with some sense. You know what I mean? Like it don't have nothing to do with armchair critic. Like, cause I ain't that person. I'm just somebody that's analyzing and saying, okay, this doesn't need to happen anymore. You know what I mean? And I got the facts to back it up. And to me, that's just two different things. When I hear armchair critic, I'm just hearing somebody that that is basically next to like a troll or a hater. Like to me, an armchair critic is somebody that couldn't do the same thing or never experienced that before. You know what I mean? Like somebody that has never experienced that. To me, that's what an armchair critic is. Somebody that never leaves that chair and they just continue to say, you need to do this and you need to do that. you know, but it's one thing to say, okay, I've seen this before, or I had this happen before, and it's time to say, hey, if you hear this, start putting things together. Like, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to fight? Do you really want to compete? I mean, getting in the octagon is one thing, but competing is another. Like, could Karolina fight again? Could she get in the octagon again? Of course. But can she be competitive? Can she compete? Nah. maybe like you said, if they give her one of these level fights, maybe there's always one of those fights out there for you. But is it worth the risk again? Oh no, no, not at all, not at all. Not with 5 losses like this. Not with 5 losses in this fashion. No, no. Mm-mm. Uh, Mary said, I have to wonder how hard knocked or heartbroken Carolina be right now after another quick finish. Yeah, because this was supposed to be her comeback. She's been working with Joanna. They've been working on her game plan, and to see it all go down the drain, like Zhang Weili said in the first round, you feel a certain way. I think she had more of a chance than Zhang Weili did because Zhang Weili was like out like that. So Carolina might feel a little bit worse because she gave it to Panay. She got in her guard and gave her what she wanted. Like she waved her in. Jessica Panay was laying on her back and she waved her in. She was like, come on in, come on in. And she went into the guard with her. She stood him back up and she said, oh, no, I'm getting on top. And from there, she was in control of the fight. From there, she was in control of the fight. The robot chicken, what's up? To be said. No, man, I like that, man. Let's give Lemos a name. Like, let's give her the former Invicta champion, and let's give her somebody that's a veteran. Like, let's let Lemos beat a black belt in jujitsu. That's gonna look good on Lemos's resume. You know, she beat a black belt in jujitsu, former champion. Somebody with some good names on her resume. You know, no, we're gonna talk Lemos here in a minute. Hold on, we gotta talk Lemos here in a minute because we're gonna jump to this next fight. Let's get off of Carolina for a minute because I'm gonna talk about this again tomorrow with y'all because I think there's some things I'm missing here. I'm just kind of doing it on the fly, but let me see. Carolina is done. She fights like she's shell shocked. Yeah, Marcus said no more low level fights. Yeah, hold on to that thought. Let's talk Tisha and Angela Hill here. Let's talk Torres Hill 2, the sequel. First off, I gotta say, good fight. Very, very good fight. Very, very good showcase of what I've been seeing in Tisha Torres as improvement in a fighter. And 6 years, man, it was 6 years was a long time coming for this rematch. They both been wanting to fight somewhere down the line. Well, Angela Hill's always had this thing about wanting to fight Tisha Torres again and wanting to right that wrong. But they just took two different paths, man. Like Tisha's went this way, Hills went that way. And I think along the way, Tisha Torres, she's been improving. At the same time, she's always been that tough, tough, strong competitor that she was that would give anybody a tough fight. But I think somewhere along the line, Tisha realized that I can't just be this tough, durable fighter anymore. We've got to step up and start using some of these attributes that you have, and Tisha Torres before, she was more of a speedy fighter, right? Speedy, defensive, in and out combinations, right? She would always win her fights by decisions. That's one thing I know. It's like watching Tisha Torres all the way back when she first started, when I seen her first fight, I was like, this little girl's quick. She's got speed and she knows how to get in and out. And she's a smart fighter. She uses what she has. She doesn't try to go in there and go for knockouts. She's just speed and power. Well, not power, but she's just speed and um, combinations and some wrestling here and there. But there comes a point when you gotta change that style because the competition is gonna get tougher. And I think now after facing them tough fighters 4 in a row, I mean, damn man, like shout out to Tisha, man. They were giving her some tough fights. I don't know. We might need to talk about this in the video, but let later we got to compare resumes here. We got to compare Carla Esparza, her win streak compared to Tisha. Look, I ain't trying to I ain't trying to bash Carla. Carla earned her title shot, right? Carla earned her title shot. She did. She's got 5 wins in a row, right? But when we look at who Tisha Torres was in there with 4 times in a row, good gosh, they were trying to kill her, man. I mean, come on, man. You put her in there with Joanna, you put her in there Marina Rodriguez, you put her in there Zhang Wei Li, and you put her in there Jessica Andrade. All 4 of them fighters back to back. Y'all weren't giving her no cherry picks. This girl didn't have no cherry picks. I mean, y'all were putting her in there. Y'all put her in the thorn patch. Some of these other fighters y'all put in there, y'all put her, y'all put some of these other fighters like Mackenzie Dern and Ebos into the cherry field, cherry tree, whatever. Y'all put them in there, picking from the cherry tree, but y'all put Tisha Torres in that thorn patch for sure. Y'all put her in that poison ivy, batch of poison ivy out there. You know what I mean? Like Tisha Torres has been having some tough fights. So she's really been put in a position to make sure to really say, look, I have to grow. I have to grow as a fighter, you know? And going back to what I was saying about her speed and her power or her strength, she's been turning her combination punching into effective offense. Like Tisha Torres, I've been looking, throughout these past fights. I know the competition isn't the same, her 2-fight winning streak, but Tisha Torres, her her kicks are becoming more so assertive, and she's really coming forward with her right hand now, and she's putting more pop on them shots. You know what I mean? Like she's really starting to develop into a harder puncher and a harder kicker. Like I think she really wants to become a knockout artist, and that's what I said Angela Hill needs to do. Like what the hell was Angela Hill doing in this fight? Again, look, I ain't trying to be mean here, but like what was Angela Hill doing in this fight? I mean, I just did a video and I'm talking about like what a fighter like Angela Hill needs to do against a fighter like Tisha Torres. You got to throw a jab, you got to throw long punches, but it's like there was no jab in this fight. When she did throw it, it would land, but she didn't really throw it. And she was throwing all these loopy punches instead of straight punches. Like where are the straight punches, Angela? Like you're the taller fighter here. Like where are the straight punches? You know, you saw what Marina Rodriguez did. You saw what Joanna did, kicking Tisha straight in the body, knock her back, knock that little fighter back, with them kicks to the body, punch her in the chest, kick her in the chest, knock her back, you know. Like why was Angela Hill not doing some of this stuff? Like why was she fighting in the pocket? Why was she fighting in the range of the shorter fighter? You know? And like I said, Tisha's developed this nice little subtle changes to her game. Instead of fighting backwards, she's coming forward more, and she's developed a nice body attack. She developed a nice body attack now that I think is going to be effective coming up the strawweight ladder. Um, so yeah, I like what I saw in Tisha Torres. That's what I'm gonna say about this fight. Like I'm talking more about it tomorrow. I'm a little about to get out here in a minute, but yeah, overall, yeah, good performance by Tisha, good development. Angela Hill, she just showed her ability to stay in a fight, and had her moments, with combinations here and there. But a couple more tie clinches from Angela Hill, but just no overall development here, where I spoke on point fighting in a video a couple of days ago. I posted, and I think Angela Hill needs to master that because she's not knocking anybody out anytime soon. She's not going to stop anybody soon. So you got to develop that. But comparing the changes, better changes on Tisha Torres' side. Angela Hill's kind of just been in the same, kind of in the same bracket there, same bracket. Let me see here. I'm gonna just go back up and read some of y'all comments here. I was just kind of talking on Tisha here. Mary Thomas said Torres looked sharper against JJ than she did against Hill. Doesn't mean she was as bad at all though. Yeah. Losing to Andrade killed her confidence. I think getting knocked out made her gun shy. You talking about Karolina? Tisha Torres is a little muscle head. Is a little muscle nugget and does not juice. She is naturally built. Yeah, like I said, I don't throw those allegations out there until somebody gets popped because those are serious allegations. Like I call it the dark cloud. Like if you've been popped before, you will always have that dark cloud over your head with me. Who's about to say, yeah, Canelo's got the dark cloud. I know Jessica Bene's got the dark cloud. There's a lot of fighters. I ain't even gonna call them out now, but you know who they are. They got the dark cloud over their head. But Tisha always had that natural build. She always had them muscles. So I'm not gonna put that out there about her. I ain't gonna say that. Tisha and Claudia, yeah, mm-hmm, yeah, Robot Chicken. Dern and Ebos had some easier fights. Like the past few years from 2018 on, Tisha's been getting hella fights. Like Tisha's been in there with real fighters. All of them real fighters. You know what I mean? She been in a real fight though. And I've always wanted to see Dern and Torres happen. I wanted to see that fight happen. I talked about that before. That's why I don't say. Well, let me hold off on that. Maybe no, I'll say it now. I don't think Tisha Torres ducked Amanda Lemos like that. I think Torres wants to fight up, and she's 2 spots over Amanda Lemos. It don't got nothing to do with her being scared of Amanda Lemos. Tisha Torres fights anybody. Tisha Torres fights anybody, and if anybody deserves to fight up, Tisha Torres deserves that. She deserves whoever she wants to fight up because she's already been in some tough fights. So I don't think Tisha Torres ducked Amanda Lemos. If anything, if she wouldn't want to fight, it was because she didn't want to fight down, and then she had to settle for Hill. You know what I mean? Like she had to settle for that fight. So they gave that to her. There's probably like, you take this fight or leave it. So she took that fight. But I just don't see Tisha Torres saying, "Look, I'm gonna take this low ranked fighter but high risk." You got to think about it that way. Like you got to start thinking about it that way. Like no, man. Like let me keep my ranking. Let me fight my way up the rankings. I'm already at number 10. Let me just continue to go up. So I don't think she's ducking now. Yeah, she is point fighting ineffectively. Hold on here. Where we at? Where we at? Marcus Bell said when the competition gets a little more stiffer for Lamos, those knockouts will stop coming. Therefore, she will have to resort to other skills. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yeah, like your stand up is going to start becoming more of a stand up showcase instead of just knockouts. We'll see how further you can go with it. Yeah, if Hill can't accept that she don't have any power and she ain't knocking nobody out, you got to start submitting people and let that be it. Like your jujitsu, you need to start being slippery on the ground. And Jessica Panay needs to teach you everything she knows. I mean, they're in the same crew, they're in the same camp. Come on, like Panay's a black belt, right? Like let's see you evolve. Like more Thai fighter, yeah, but like if you ain't gonna master the point fighting style for your discipline, then it might be time to say, okay, we gotta become a grappler or something. It's interesting that Tisha is more ripped than Andrade, but doesn't have to power. Oh well, not really, not really two beats because you can be ripped but not have any core strength. Like you can do ab workouts, but an ab workout and sit-ups, regular sit-ups and regular ab workouts are not going to develop core strength. Okay. Like Andrade has a strong freaking core. Like that's her thing. Like it's not about abs with her. It's about that core. You know, you gotta develop that core strength. And Tisha probably has core strength, but not on the level of Andrade. Like Andrade's core, it generates power. It's got the torque in it. Like Tisha, she's ripped because she's just born that way. She's got muscles. You know what I mean? Like she's got the muscles in her abs, but like her core might not be as strong as Andrade's. Like Andrade develops power. Like Tisha Torres is strong. She is physically strong, but being physically strong doesn't generate power. Andrade also has the burst. She has that athletic burst that's going to give her what she needs. And she's factor that in, factor her core, and then you just factor in that she's naturally heavy-handed as well. You know what I mean? Like, so being ripped and the core strength are two different things. They definitely go through different drills to develop that. And yeah, that's just two different types of workouts. And I think Andrade, what she focuses on, develops her core a little bit more for power, definitely. Jan versus Torres, that would be a good fight. Jan Zanon versus Torres, yeah, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Claudia is a good fight. Jan Zanon is a good fight. Um, and then that wild card fight out there when there's the Lemos fight. Just because, but no, though, if she wants to fight up, those are good names. Yeah, 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 Stammer. It's not ducking like at that level, it's not ducking at that point. It's like, all right, man, come on. I fought Sam Hughes, I fought Brianna Van Buren. I've just beat Angela Hill now. I'm on a 3-fight winning streak. I'm number 10. I want to fight up. Like anybody below me, they can wait. Like, if you surpass me, you can have it. But no, man, like I want to fight up. And when you fight up, that's not ducking. No. Like if she would choose to fight Claudia over Lemos, that's not ducking. That's called strategy at that point. That's called strategy. Let's fight my way up. Mary Thomas said Tisha's not more swole than Andrade to me. Yeah, I think she's more ripped. I think she's definitely more ripped and her muscles are more defined. But Andrade is a little muscle head too. Like I think 125, she's showcasing more thickness though. Like she's not as muscular. I think she's got more of a balance of muscle and just like uh, thicker frame. She's just more defined. Hold on. Decimated Decimated 550. What's up? Decimated 550. I don't think I've seen you before in here, but welcome. Decimated 550 said Angela has always said I'm gonna go for the knockout. I know, yeah, yeah, she's always said, but it's like you ain't got the power for that. You ain't got the power for that. Angela should have Angela should have 6 years ago gone all in on BJJ. That's what I think. Yeah. Yeah. Gone all in BJJ and wrestling and done competitions and jujitsu like you see a lot of fighters do in between MMA fights. He said Angela's lazy. She waited too long to get a ground game. She should have mixed her martial arts. But just wanted to be a striker and go for the knockout, which never came. I mean, hey, you speaking, that's some real talk right there, man. I mean, for sure. I mean, for real, because we seen it. We seen it throughout her past 7 years, and I seen it through her growth from her first fight to the UFC, from Tough House, from Invicta back to the UFC. And I've just seen her fight a consistent level on her game, for her style. She's never really went to that level of add more to her arsenal. She's never did like a Tisha Torres has done, just switch up some things and add more to her arsenal. It's always been stand-up fighter. I mean, she's tough now. She's tough, but that tough ain't gonna get you them wins. Penne and Carnelossi. That's not a bad fight. Interesting. Yeah. Mr. Lee said Angela over the hill is running out of gas, but I must say I see what you did there, Mr. Lee. You crazy. Is running out of gas, but I must say I admire her ability to fight more often than everyone else. Yeah, I do like the fact she likes to fight though, man. Like I think that's how she's really been learning is, just coming in and fighting and seeing what she really needs to do. And I think, I gotta commend her for that. I wanted to see a better Angela in this fight. I wanted to see a more developed Angela. But I think she was doing too much, following around and not using her range in this fight. She was letting Tisha still control her with as far as the strength goes. Thanks, Decimated. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, make sure you just subscribe too, man. I'm always on here doing something. Yeah, like that. Yeah, always on here doing some videos. So make sure you subscribe, man. 2B said, "What are the chances we see in Ghana before 2022?" I think. Oh, before 2022. Shoot. I think they're slim, man. 2Bs, I think it's slim. I mean, we're already at what? We're almost mid August. Excuse me. We're almost mid August now, and nothing's been announced. It's slim. It's slim, man. It's slim. I was thinking so highly of Ngannou versus Jones, but now I've been seeing a lot of articles on Stipe calling Jones out, and they might try to enforce that mandatory. But Stipe, he's actually trying to, seems like he want to leave. So UFC might try to make Stipe Jones before they make Ngannou. And then you got, Cyril Gane. He said he's in no rush, right? He's in no rush for the Ngannou fight yet. So they're not in a rush to make that fight, 2B. So they might actually put that on the back burner for a minute and kind of make Ngannou wait. They might pull a power move and say, "Oh, you ain't fighting anymore this year." Gatto was the most jacked woman on the card, next to Tisha. She was jacked though, Gary. I mean, like when she walked out of the octagon, I was like, dang, like look at her. I was like looking at her shoulders, and I was like looking at her like abs. I was like, yo, she is jacked. Yes, may say Roxy does. Roxy does. JJ, Jessica, Miranda Maverick. You got to do. Yeah, 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 yeah. They all do. Roxy does. Miranda Maverick, Jillian Robertson. Yeah, Jessica I does. Canuto, Raquel Canuto, all of them girls. All of them girls hit that tournament. Amanda Serrano, the boxer, she's been doing it. BJ, what's going on? BJ, no filter MMA. Make sure you subscribe to No Filter MMA. To be said, what do you think produces a more successful MMA fighter statistically? A dominant grappling background or dominant striking background? As much as I love striking and I love boxing, that's my one love. I'm a boxer. Oh man. I gotta say a dominant grappling game. I think a dominant grappling background really, really produces a successful MMA fighter, in my opinion. In my opinion, I do. I think a dominant grappling background, you have a longer career. You have them special fighters, than freaking nature. I won't say freaking nature, but you have those special fighters like, Joanna that can stick to that game plan. But I think it just depends on what division you're in for those type of fighters to be dominant with striking. You see, Connor's trying to become more strike independent. You see what's happening to him. Like early Connor was more of a clinch fighter, wrestling. He used his wrestling effectively, right? You know, to get to that level he's on, pound for pound, um, Connor had to utilize a lot of that stuff before. But now trying to be a dominant striker and trying to do that in a more um a much, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I say evolving game. A game that's evolved from when he first started, it's not wise to do that. So I think somebody just trying to be a straight up striker, they have to make sure that they are quick, their takedown defense is on point, their physical strength is up to par, and they have to have some type of power. But I think if you have a ground game, if you have wrestling and you have your jujitsu, I think that that's always going to save you trouble, because a lot of these fighters, let's be honest, like as I was studying, MMA throughout the years, like early years, I've noticed like different countries, they've always had like to fall back on well, let's say their go-to was always some type of grappling or some type of wrestling. Like some of these guys, they never knew how to throw hands, or like their footwork was off. You know what I mean? Like boxing is only so much effective. That's why you have to boxing is not effective. That's why you have to change it into striking or kickboxing or Muay Thai, because being stationary like a boxer and just throwing hands, that's not really going to work. So I think that being from the background of Sambo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and some of these Olympic wrestlers, they fare well. They'll fare well because you can be a decent striker, but your ground game, to me, it does have to be at a high level. You know, Khabib's not like the best boxer in the world, but he has good striking. Justin Gaethje, he has very, very good kicks and very good striking. You know what I mean? But like he has that great wrestling. DC, great wrestler and great grappler. But his hands um are effective enough, to be a dirty boxer. So I think that, yeah, I think having a ground game, even though I love my boxing and my stand up, man, like I think that a dominant grappler goes further, man. All right, let me go back here. Yeah, zero chance. Let's see. Okay, Stamina said I say the wrestling and yeah, yeah. Wrestling and grappler favors the men a little more. Yeah, yeah. The women, yeah, that's why I say like the women, it kind of depends on the division. Like if you're in the strawweight division, I think you could have a successful career as a stand-up fighter. Like if you're a strawweight, you seen Joanna do it, you see Rose do it, Zhang Wei to a certain extent did it. I think Marina Rodriguez, she could do it, but you still need a level of takedown defense though if you want to be a stand-up fighter. But when you go into like the flyweight division, the women's flyweight division, no, to me, you have to be a grappler. You have to have a high level of grappling. You got Lauren Murphy, Jennifer Maya, Jessica Andrade, Viviana Arujo, all, and then you got a stand-up fighter like Caitlin Chikagan that you would need to take down. You know what I mean? You got to take a fighter like Caitlin Chikagan down to the ground. You don't want to box with her. And then the champ, the champ is winning her fights with grapplers. So you got to look at the division too, especially with the women. I think you got to look like, okay, straw weights. You got a lot of strikers there. You can be successful. Rose, but Rose still is developing that she's still always staying up on her wrestling and her grappling. Marco Pera said your thoughts about Norma Dumont versus Holly Holm. Um, not really a fight I'm looking forward to, but I think it'll bring some action. I think this is a way of Holly Holm, possibly getting in for another title shot. And I mean, hey, more power to her. I mean, if she get it, but I think Holly Holm knows that this is a barren division, and Norma Dumont knows like if she gets the win, it'll secure her a title shot. But she admitted that she wasn't really ready for it. She wants to fight a few more fights, but there really is no other fights, right? So if Norma Dumont wins this Holly Holm fight, that probably will secure her a featherweight title fight. Holly Holm wins, that might secure her a title fight with Amanda Nunes. But I think like level wise, like And style wise, it wasn't really a fight I was looking forward to, but you can't count out Norma Dumont. You know, she's a counter puncher, she's big and she's strong. Um, but then you gotta think Holly Holm, you know, she's been working on her game and you know, she's never been a fighter that was gonna be just ragdoll. So I think she's gonna bring her level of strength as well. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it though. Definitely gonna watch it. All right, y'all in here talking. So hold on, let me go back up here. Got me on here a little longer here. Okay, let's see. Robot Chicken says, I'm not really impressed by Gatto's performance. Not impressed by her performance. Um, I was. I was. Coming in for 3 years, and I was impressed with what she was able to do. I wasn't like, oh man, this girl's gonna be the next champion or something like that. But I say anytime you can stop somebody and dominate them, you gotta show some level of impression. This is her UFC debut. Yeah, for the women, it seems like a striking background is the matter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like if you look at, I think when you look at the shades of the bantamweight division, you got striker base, but the heavy strikers and the straw weights, and I think that's why a lot of people like the strawweight division because you know they bring in hands. Mary Thomas said because Joanna had that athlete's touch, she could adapt crucial part of ground game defense. Carolina has that exact same background as JJ, but she has different type of athleticism. Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. I think the body type and I think just the way that Joanna is kind of I think Joanna's limbs and the way she bounces back up and the way she handles her frame is a if that makes sense. I think it's more so built for how she's able to bounce back up and she's able to scramble, but it's also a little bit of IQ. Uh-oh, BJ going at it. BJ said Leonardo shouldn't be in the UFC. Come on, man. I mean, how many losses now? This is two straight losses. Yeah, two losses. Um, but I know why BJ's saying that. BJ's trying to downplay Manon Firo, but hey, BJ only one. He look. Manon Firo did what she was supposed to do. She did what she was supposed to do. I know you want to say that because you want to downplay Manon Firo, but you gotta give her credit. Manon stopped her in two. She was legit at the time. Andrade definitely has the athlete's touch, and Rose, I would say she's right up there too. Yeah, Rose got the athletic touch too. Yeah, she's athletic, and I'd say like some of the most athletic in the straw weights was Joanna, Rose, Tisha. They're very athletic fighters. Very, very, very good with their balance, endurance, flexible. Who else? Who else is an athletic strawweight? Help me out here. Who else is athletic strawweight? Zhang Wei Li. Zhang Wei Li is an athletic strawweight. Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez is athletic strawweight. Yeah. BJ says so many people spend so much time talking about how horrible fighters like Robertson is when there's fighters like Leonardo who shouldn't even be in the UFC. Dang. Well, you know me, I ain't never say Jillian Robertson is a horrible fighter though. I ain't never say she was a horrible fighter. I'm just saying like lower level fighter, of course, right? I'm just going by the ranking she's on. I'm not gonna say she's championship level because she's not there. I know you ain't talking about me though, but I'm just saying. Mary Thomas said Wei Lee can be athletic, but her cardio is questionable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of questionable. I think that she's been doing good in some 3-round fights though. And I think she did good in her 5 round fight with Joanna though. I think she has decent. I think she is an athletic fighter though. I would put her up there. Hold on, what did you say? Damn, I lost it. Where did Mary Thomas says something? You're going too fast here. Mary Thomas says something. Okay, this isn't WMMA, but did y'all hear that Stipe accepted the fight? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just talking about that. I was just talking about that. That's why I said that the Francis Ngannou with John Jones fight ain't happening because Stipe wants that fight with John. Yeah. Dang man. BJ is on a whatchamacallit. BJ is on a what you call it? He is trying to get he trying to get Victoria Leonardo thrown up out of the UFC. I mean, come on, man. Because he wanted to downplay Manon Firo, that's all. Mary, well, all right, Jillian is still good. I ain't know much about Victoria. I guess I can't talk. I mean, she won her contract. They signed her that night, so hey, I mean, she's part of the unranked bunch. You know, there's a lot of unranked bunch. There's a lot of fighters in the unranked bunch that are kind of on that chopping block. I mean, come on. They were taking a chance with. She could either went up or she could have went down. And I think she was kind of in the middle where you say, okay, do you sign her or not? Is she UFC level? We'll see. You know, she did win some fights in Invicta FC, just like some of these other fighters they signed. She showcased more than a Shakarova, right? I mean, of course, she was a late replacement, but she showcased something to get into the flyweight division over Tabitha Ricci. Tabitha Ricci's a strawweight. So I think she improves her defense. She'll be a little bit better fighter. Cole said, "Do you think Pena might surprise people? Maybe not win, but do better than she expects." I think she might do a little bit better. Uh, Early think, early, early assessment. I think Pena might get in. She might get into the fourth round. I think she might get into the fourth round. I think Juliana Pena might get into the fourth round. Maybe. Yeah, maybe she might. Yeah, she's got a. I think she got a decent chance because you got to think of the mental game here too, man. Like she's doing some things, man. Like Juliana Pena is doing some things that some fighters haven't done in a while, or some fighters haven't even done to Amanda Nunes. How many fighters have you seen try to get into Amanda Nunes' head like this? Like showing up at the press or whatever, Q&A, and approach Dana White and say, look, when am I fighting? Is it going to be December or whatnot? Like, is she tested negative yet? Is she better? You know what I mean? Like how she came at that approach. I was like, Pena's putting herself out there, man. Don't mean she gonna win the fight off of that. Like we don't know technically, but she's doing some mental games here. I think she's playing some, mental boxing here, mental MMA. Robot Chicken said, I think Julian is terrible. I don't like the way she fought Barbara. Dang. Robot Chicken said, I think Jillian Robertson is terrible. I don't like the way she fought Barbara. Mm, mm. Okay. High Five said, okay. Lemos is athletic. Okay. Put her in there. Okay. Oh, oh. Just kind of going through reading here with y'all. To be said, that's a good thing. Yeah, I was just trying to read through some of y'all because y'all coming through talking. Mark Robertson. I don't know, man. That one caught my eye, so I had to read this one. He said, "Why don't we have any news about Rose versus Carla?" What's the hold? I don't know, man. At this point, I'm really getting frustrated. Um, I want to see something scheduled from these fighters by the end of 2021, man. Like, I want to see Carla get her chance. Whether you think she deserves it or not, Carla get her chance, and then Whaley and Joanna run it back. I want to see those two fights happen. Mary said, "Do you think since Andrade is versatile for three divisions, she's the most athletic in strawweight division?" I think she's one of them. I think she's definitely one of them. I think she's high up there because Andrade, if she had a higher IQ, I think she could. I think she could be a three division world champion. Call me crazy, but if she had a better IQ, I think Andrade could be a three division world champion. Really, like she won strawweight. Like if she had a better IQ and a better approach to fighting Valentina, whatever it may be. I mean, when you look at them size wise, Andrade can handle a fighter of Shevchenko's size. I'm not saying she could beat her before y'all attack, but she could beat a fighter of Valentina Shevchenko's size. Like, let's say if she did have everything put together that she needed, the IQ and so on, she could win that. She's fought at bantamweight before. She just needed a better approach for her frame. You know what I mean? Like, you can't run in and you can't slam every single girl, but you can strike with some of these girls. You can go to the body and break them down, and she does have the power. So I think she has the athleticism, and man, like she could have had the promise to grab three titles here. Like she's got the burst, and she's powerful, man. She's quick. Marco Perez said, "I think a fighter like Shevchenko or Nunes is more well-rounded than a fighter that only depends on one skill, like for example, just striking or grappling." Right, right. Yeah, Shevchenko, man, like, yeah, Shevchenko and Nunes are kind of the definitions of well-rounded, right? I mean, Shevchenko, she really has her own level, Shevchenko level, and well, there's Nunes level. There's Shevchenko level in the flyweight division, and I think she does whatever she wants to do. I mean, she showed I could, okay, I can outstrike Jessica Andrade, right? I could piece her up. I could outstrike her, outbox her, outkick her, but I'm gonna take her to the ground to show you another level. And that's what she did. She took her to the ground and out wrestled, out strength, out grapple, put her in the crucifix, and boom. So yeah, they're the definitions of well rounded, man. I don't know. Robot Chicken said Jillian horrendous. I wouldn't call her horrendous, man. No, hang on here. Yeah, Jillian ain't horrendous. High Five said, "How could Whaley's cardio be questionable? Her cardio is far better." Yeah, I think she has good cardio. I think it's just her lack of defense. I think her IQ, swinging wild. Stop swinging wild. Robot Chicken said, "Jillian looks like a lost child in the mall looking for their mom when she have to strike." Dang, woo. There's some there's some verbal sparring in here. I'm gonna leave that alone for a while. I'm gonna leave Robot Chicken and BJ to that. There's some verbal sparring in there. I ain't playing. Well, Mr. Lee, I think athletic, that, yeah, you can play multiple sports, but at the same time, your style is kind of athletic based, as far as your speed, your burst, and how good you can move, your balance, athletic in that way, you know. Who else is like who else is like another athletic fighter, and as far as males are, I think Khabib's an athletic fighter. Uh Adesanya is a athletic fighter, athletic champion. Kamar Usman, multiple things, multiple. Whew, boy, y'all crazy. All right, V Kendra, what's going on? Mary Thomas said, "Well, Andrade got Cynthia business right now, so we have to see what it does next." Yeah. What do y'all think about that fight though? Like, how much of a chance does Cynthia Calvillo have? Like, Calvillo would have to show some athleticism in this fight. Let's be real. Like Calvillo, you have to show some type of athleticism. Valentine's an athletic fighter. Yeah, definitely. Valentine's athletic. You have to be on the move and on the balls of your feet against somebody like Andrade. You have to be able to move in and out, and you have to be able to have a burst of energy as well to be able to counter her. And you have to be physically strong. You don't go strength for strength with her, but you have to be able to you have to be able to hold your ground as well. Like there's not many fighters that are going to have strength to match Andrade unless your name is somebody like Shevchenko. You know what I mean? So in that division, I think Calvillo, to use her grappling the way she wants to use it, you have to be able to um I think she's gonna have to use her striking to systematically break down Andrade, chip away at her, exhaust her, and then utilize your grappling. But even then, I think that's a dangerous thing. I think that's a dangerous thing. I think it has to be a game of counter striking for Calvillo. Okay, hold on one second. Brother man, what's going on? He said, "What do you think about Tisha Torres' win against Hill, and do you think she will fight Zhang again to one step closer to the belt?" I actually was just talking about this, the brother man. I know you must just join, but if you want to go back and listen to the video earlier, I mean, go back and listen to the live stream earlier. But real quick, I liked her performance. I think Tisha Torres showed another level of growth. Um, I like her attack. She's much more stronger. A good body attack. She's being more aggressive here. She's coming forward. She's committing to her kicks. Still fast, but she's being putting a little bit more funk on her punches. She's putting that heat on her shots to back Angela up. But I don't think she'll fight Zhang Wei Li yet next. I think she'll need to fight Claudia Gadelia. Let's see her fight Claudia or Yan Xiaonan. That was a good name we said. Yeah, Yan Xiaonan or Claudia Gadelia first. Either one of those names first, and then maybe that shot. You Yeah, V Kendra. Yeah, go back up. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and listen to it for sure. Um, I like the fights. I just overall, again, Carolina, I think she's needs to, think twice about fighting again. But yeah, good fights though overall. Colton said I can see Calvillo scrambling really well with Andrade on the ground, but she has to be strong. Yeah, she gonna have to scramble. She gonna have to scramble because she was like, yo, I got the best grappling in here. So, to be able to use that grappling, you got to be quick on it. You got to be putting Andrade at different angles where she can't, set her feet. I like how Valentina Shevchenko used the height against Andrade. Like the way she was holding her like a little kid a little bit. She knew, okay, I got the height advantage. I'm gonna hold her like a little baby at this angle where she can't really get any leverage. To be said, who's the next strawweight champion? Could be Carla. Could be Carla. Next strawweight champion could be Carla. I think if Rodriguez beat mm, Rodriguez beat Dern, could she beat Rose? Oh man, let me think. I don't know. I'm gonna say Carla for now. Carla could possibly be the one. Could be. Yeah, yeah. Torres versus Yan Zhang, that's a good fight. I think Tisha versus Yan is legit. Yeah, that might be the next move. Oh, he was trying to take. Yeah, she was trying something. It just didn't work because she's too strong. High Five said Rose should relinquish the belt and retire. She made the strawweight stagnant. All right, hold on here, y'all. Yeah, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Got like 20, 23 people in here. Shout out to everybody coming in, just talking some WMMA. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button. I am about to get up out of here though in a minute though. Yeah, I said that about 30 minutes ago. But yeah, y'all. Calvillo striking is not like Rose. Whaley or Joanna. Calvillo doesn't throw much volume. She gonna have to in this fight. As long as you got a good jab, you develop a good jab, you should be okay. Because when you got the good jab, that two will follow, and you'll be okay. Just make sure you have a good jab, and you'll be okay, and you commit to it. Just don't let Andrade get your hands on. Just don't let her get her hands on you though. Marco Perez said, "Do you think Montserrat will have her last chance in the UFC after the horrendous performance against Lemos?" Yeah, I think she'll get another chance. You might see her in there with Kay Hansen or Loma Labutni, somebody like that. They'll give her one of those fighters. I mean, I'm not gonna. There's man, there's levels to this game, man. And when I called it, Marco. Like, I know you. If you new to the channel, I did a prediction. I said it was gonna be the first or second round. Lemos is gonna knock her out in that round. Like, come on, Styles, Styles, Matt, Styles like that spell KO. And Ruiz got KO because of that run and gun style. I'm gonna run straight in, and then you got the counter puncher, beautiful counter puncher in Lemos, Marco. So yeah, man, yeah. I think she'll get another chance though. I think she'll get another chance. I think Ruiz might be in there with Loma Labutni, or she might be in there with Kay Hansen, um, Tabitha Ricci. Tabitha Ricci's been signed, so Tabitha Ricci could be in there. So you ain't seen the last of her yet. High five said, you have a great day. All right, man. I see you, man. Go hit the gym. All right. 2B said, 4 months after a new champion is crowned and presumably healthy, and a clear number one contender is always healthy, and several credentials justifying a title shot, hating the strawweight title picture. Right. I mean, flyweights are moving, man. I don't know if it's just me, but the flyweight division always got a name announced. It's like, boom, Miranda Maverick got a fight. Roxanne got a fight. Valentina got a fight. JoJo and Alexa Grasso. Jennifer Maya and Jessica I. Alexa Grasso and JoJo. There's always a fight announced in the flyweight division, but the strawweight division, man, your top five, it takes forever. It takes forever to get them matched up, man. What's going on? No filter said, I think Juliana Velasquez loses her next title defense. If she fights Liz Carmouche, she very well might. She very well might if she fights Liz Carmouche, BJ. You put her in there, man. Like, Liz Carmouche might have some fun. I think Liz Carmouche, she experienced, so Liz Carmouche probably saw some stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Lima Lay McFarlane, I don't know, man. Like Lima Lay Mike's Lima Lay McFarlane might have said, okay, you want to be tentative with me, you want to be cautious. I'm gonna take it back to round 4 and 5, and I am gonna do that 4 to 5 rounds on you, Velasquez. You know what I mean? Especially after seeing what Dynamite did as far as controlling her and winning and winning my eyes. I think Lima Lay McFarlane and these smaller fighters, they're gonna say, we're gonna take some chances. We're gonna take some chances now. Alejandro Lara, she had a close fight with Velasquez. You go back and watch that. I went back and looked at that fight. I was like, okay. I was like, Lima Lay, she might get a rematch. She might start winning some ground rounds here. Yeah, Colton, they're gonna keep her for that. I mean, she got the show. They're gonna keep her. They gonna keep her, man, spitting like that. I don't think she was spitting like that, though, man. I think it was just came out, but she talked though. She talked a good game. Lara and McFarlane rematches are there for Carmouche Beach. Yeah, I think she could do it. On average, let's say for either the UFC strawweight and flyweight division, how many fighters are on the roster outside of the top 15? Wait, how many fighters are on the roster outside of the top 15? Only the top 15 are ranked of the UFC. There's a lot. I mean, there's like a good handful. Like, if you're saying like, let's see, how many fighters are there's a good bit. Like, I think if where did I pull that up before? You could pull up like a roster and see like who they sign. I might have to pull that up one day so we can kind of go through it. If one of y'all find it, send it to me, but I'll probably find it. There's like where you can see the unranked fighters as well. Like it's not on the site, I don't think, but it was just somewhere where you could see like who signed to the UFC, and you'll see like all these other unranked fighters. You know, Mm. Yeah. All McFarlane needs to do is push the pace. I mean, yeah, if she's not throwing that many shots after watching that last fight, what I was saying with Velasquez was like, okay, when you going to turn it up here? You're going to start counterpunching. Like, if Alima Lay McFarlane picks up where she left off with round 4 and 5, I think we know what happened. That's just honest truth. Like, basing it off of that, if you take her down to the ground, you know, that's it. Yeah. I have to look though. Uh, the brother man said, "What's your take on how we build bantamweight featherweight division? Also, that which Olympian from Tokyo that has UFC plans this time?" I'm not sure. I have to look into that. For that second part of your question, I'm gonna have to look into that. But my take on how we build the bantamweight featherweight division. I actually did a live stream talking about the featherweight division, man. Like I think it just comes down to Dana White biting down and building it, man. Like for bantamweight, you need to sign fighters like Tanisha eventually, and take Macy Chase on up to featherweight. And man, I picked like 15. We picked like 15, 16. I know y'all added some names too, but I picked like a good 15, 16 fighters. I know BJ, he can name some too. 15, 16 fighters that they could build the featherweight division. I mean, come on, y'all missed out on the opportunity with Pam Bam. It's just a matter of signing these fighters. Um, that's basically how, they just have to really commit to doing it. Not one and no fighters like Danielle Wolf. You need established fighters. But I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna see if we got any who we got some wrestlers up in here that could go into the UFC though. I mean, well, not even UFC, but just MMA first. Said Denise didn't do it. I think Denise did enough. Oh, I like that cake fight. I like that cake fight. And gosh, I can't forget the other guy's name. I was watching some of the prelims. The men's fights were good. The Gon fight was good. And Jose Aldo was doing some nice work. I missed the Luque fight though. Well, no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, Luque Aldo. Yeah, I was looking at what Aldo was doing. Yeah, Aldo was doing good. But like I said, I gotta go back and look at some of them. I like that Cape fight. He landed that flying knee, man, and dropped. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to start covering some more of these guys, man, because they were putting on some good fights. How to chase? I make 155. That's crazy. Yeah, that dude be looking big. Speaking of featherweight, I'm pretty sure. Speaking of featherweight, I'm pretty sure Spencer versus Letson is happening. I think so too, BJ. That's man, like man, yeah, I think so too. I'm hoping. Man, Kendra, Victoria Leonardo, man, I'll tell you, I thought of Gatto's performance. Her performance is on point. But Victoria Leonardo, man, she got to work on defense. She got to work on her defense, and her overall striking game too, man. Like just get hit too much. Just gets hit too much in there. Well, I was talking about that earlier already. Uh, to be said to build up the bantamweight division, create an interim title for strip Amanda of the belt. If you ask Pena. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's the second time breaking her arm. You might as well. I have a plan on murder Nunez if you want to strip her the belt. Yeah, you ain't gonna strip her that belt. She'll strip you of your skin before you do that. All right. BJ said Spencer called her out while she was inactive. Leah said some cryptic. She said, I'm healthy now and ready to fight. Now, what did you say? Uh-oh. Man, that's what's up. That's what kind of talk I want to hear, man. George, what's going on? Yeah, man. Shoot. Shout out to Danielle Wynn, because yeah, I follow Danielle Wynn too, man. And she followed me, I think. I think she does, yeah. But I know I follow her, and I've been trying to see some of her fights, man. And I've been catching some of her fights. I know she's been doing the bare knuckle boxing, man, George. So yeah, shout out, man. That was a good interview, man. She seemed cool as hell. Um, yeah, I've been following her for about a year now, and yeah, I seen her doing her amateur thing and so on. So yeah, I might reach out and talk to her. I just haven't really been doing too many interviews. I just been like to come on here and talk. I ain't really had time to sit down and do one on ones. It's been moving, and by the time I want to sit down and talk, that's just me talking the game. So, but yeah, yeah, she seemed cool, man. Good interview, George. Yeah, Mr. Lee. Yeah, my cardio's it's good. It ain't great, but it's good. OT. Victoria might have that Paige Van Zant issue. Yeah, BJ, go ahead and drop that video on that, man. Go ahead and drop a video on them receipts, man. Let us know. Fill everybody in because we want to see this fight. We want show and tell. Go ahead and drop that video today, BJ. Show and tell. Colton said, "What strawweight fighter would have the best style for Amanda if she wasn't a factor? What strawweight would have the best style? What straw? What strawweight would have the best style for Amanda? You mean to beat Amanda? Damn. Besides Shevchenko, I have to think about that. That's a good question. That's a good question, Cole. Wait. What fighter? You said what fighter? Strawweight would have the best style for Amanda if she wasn't a factor. I thought you meant you talking about Amanda Lemos. I was thinking of Amanda Nunes. Damn. Okay, what style would be best to? Are you talking about Amanda Nunes or Amanda Lemos? I'm thinking. Hmm. I think. Oh man, the newness. I think Zhang. I'm gonna say Zhang Wei Li, a better, more polished. Size one? No, 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 no. If size wasn't a factor. Oh, okay. Shoot. If size wasn't a factor, that's tough, man. Like it's already gonna be kind of trick question is that, man? Man, Carla. If size wasn't a factor, I'm gonna say Carla's farther. No, 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 no. Let me think. Joanna's tough, man. Joanna's tough, and she's a volume puncher. I'm gonna say either Joanna or Zhang Wei Li. Maybe a better Mackenzie Dern. Marco Para said Irene Aldana is a very good striker, but she gets too many punches, and that's why she recurs to her KO left. Yeah, she needs her left hook. She needs to work on more defense. Yeah, she throws some unnecessary shots, man, like out of range. Like if size wasn't a factor, like if we say Jessica Andrade was still a strawweight, like a bigger version of Andrade would be hell. All right, BJ said I might show where Montana said Roxy turned her down. Dang, so that fight ain't happening. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. I really gotta go now. OT is done. And yeah. Y'all got me talking overtime here. Shout out to everybody in chat. Shout out to some of the new people too, like Marco Pera. If you haven't subscribed, Marco, make sure you subscribe, man. I'll be on here again tomorrow. We'll talk about some of the same stuff, new stuff. But yeah, shout out to all the people that came in today. I appreciate that, man. Make sure you hit the like on the way out. And yeah, yeah, BJ, go ahead, go live. I'm about to get up out of here now, bro. But yeah, like I said, Marco, you ain't subscribe. New people subscribe, do that. And I keep on talking. Like I always say, I'll be on here. Um, 7 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do 7 p.m. tomorrow. And hit the like on your way out, guys. We'll talk again tomorrow, guys. Like always, Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.